Okay, let's take a look at our Google Drive and a few tips to help you sort through this, maybe organize it, or how it can help save you time. I'm going to take a look into my drive. It's a little bit of a mess, but a few things I wanted to show you. There's two different views you can have when it comes to your Google Drive. This is the folder view. You can also switch to list view. When you're in list view, you're able to come through and search last modified by you, by someone else, who's the owner. You can do it alphabetically if you'd rather do it that way. Up top are going to be your most recent files that you've worked on. Over here on the left, I want to show you a few things. This is where you could add a new document if you needed to. You can also add a new folder if you're going through to organize drives. This is my drive. These are files that I've created, I control, I own. I can click the down arrow and can see another list of all of these. This is helpful if you're trying to organize and want to drag files from here over to here. You can do that. I'm going to come back to this in a minute. Your shared drive, these are the drives that are shared with you. A lot of times they're your school drives or groups that you're part of. The shared with me files, these are all files that other people own and have shared with you. One thing I want to show you, you can search through here. So if I was trying to find a file on my drive that was shared to me by Amy Kopak, I go ahead and click that. It's going to pull up a list of all the ones that she shared with me. These little slider guys over here, I can click this to get a little bit more personal when I'm searching for something, whether it's in my drive or the shared with me. And I can do what type of file it is. Am I looking for a document or am I looking for a sheet? Who was the owner? What words are in it? I can get real specific to find what I need. So if you're like me and your drive's not quite so pretty, those are tips that you can use to kind of help search for those files that you're looking for. A few other tips that I want to point out, you can come over here and actually color folders. I know it's not doesn't sound huge, but if you right click on it, you can change the color. But that way, if it's a file that you're looking for, the color makes it kind of stand out. You can even go in here. These files are kept alphabetically, but if I wanted to come through here and if you add an emoji in the front of your file, it's going to put it to the top of your drive name. Just a tip. You can click over here on the right is your information button, and this is going to give me information about the file that I'm on or what's in that folder. You can switch to a grid layout again if that's better for you. You'll see some more options that'll come down. One I do want to point out to you. So let's say if there's a file that was shared with you in the My Drive and your shared with me folder, and it's something that you want to reference a lot, and you don't want to have to always go back to shared with me, who shared it with me, and find it. So what you can do, you can add a shortcut to Drive. So this is going to put a shortcut to the file in my Drive so I can find it there, but it's still going to be owned by Amy, but I'm able to find it that way. So then I would see that back in my Drive. Another one I wanted to show you is this priority. Priority are kind of workspaces that you're able to set up and make. So you go ahead and create one. So let's say these were daily tasks, and then you could add to it what files do you commonly need? Where do you want to find these? So you could come here and let's say it's daily task. I could click and then I can just add to this, view my workspace, and then if I want to add more files, I could add these to it. So that way it's going to kind of give me one spot I could go and look. So if these are ones that I need to open frequently, I could have those together in all one spot. Also want to remind you that Google Drive, you can have that on your iPad, you can have it on your phone, and you're able to access all of your files that way as well. And one last thing I wanted to tell you about in Google Drive, we're going to talk about sharing options. So if I'm going to click on this, I don't even have to open the file. I can right click on it and I'm going to click on share. A few things just to remind you about, you can share it with specific people. And when you share it with specific people, you can click and decide, are you going to give them the right to just view it? They can't change it. You can give them the right to be a commenter, meaning they can add comments, but they can't change the file, or you can give them full access to edit it. I can also decide to add an expiration date. So if I wanted to let you look at this file for 2 weeks and then you don't need it anymore, I could take it away. And since I've already shared this file with Maria, I can transfer the ownership to her, and I can even remove access if I need to. As far as general access, I can set this so that only the people I've given access to have it. I could change it so anybody in flaglerschools.com can search for it and have access to it. They could view it, whatever they need to do, or I can make it anyone with link. This is important. If you are embedding a document in Schoology or sharing a document with parents or people outside of Flagler Schools, change this to anyone with link, and then you can make it can be a viewer and then copy that link, and that's how you can share it. So these are a few things about Google Drive that might help you increase your efficiency.